Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Life. Man, it feels kind of weird being in this chair. It feels great not being in a suit, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're pretty casual today.
I am very casual.
You have a glow about you today.
I'm like, I don't have to put a tie on because it's 500 degrees out. But I appreciate all the folk who have sat in this chair while I was preaching, while Pastor Kevin was recovering and enjoying some vacation.
And you enjoyed a vacation this last week, too.
We just got back from Northwest Arkansas, very beautiful part of the world. But yeah, it's always nice to, when I'm in there preaching, running out to outdoor church after a quick change because I wasn't preaching in a suit.
Well, you never looked like you broke a sweat. Like, I don't know how you did that.
I definitely broke a sweat and burned some calories too. But it's good to know. I watched all the ones that all the Arlington Lives that happened in my absence, and you guys do a great job.
Yeah. Well, even your wife. I mean, speaking of your wife, you spent time with her this week.
That's
your
right.
wife sat in for you here.
She sat in. Yeah. Kathy Cruz was. She became almost a regular for 3 weeks, and Heidi, and it's just great to see different faces in here and to know that this baby of mine is well taken care of.
That's right. You got a good rotation going on with folks that get to come in here, and you share the chair very nicely.
And it's been a while since you and I have been together.
It has.
Man.
I'm glad you let me come back.
That's right. Usually it's you and Deborah, so you get to host usually with the better half of the Grove family, but today you get to go inferior.
It's always a good time with you.
We always have fun.
That's right.
So anyway, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the church.
Okay. You want me to jump in? We'll talk about Burton. That's my alma mater, and I'll even say class of 1995. So we talked about the 90s earlier.
That's right.
That's how far back we go. So Burton enrollment is still open right now. They're still talking about that. Good news is Burton enrollment is up this year. It's over 300, so that's really good to hear. But you still have time if you want, or you're considering it, still have time to enroll. I believe the first day of classes is August 16th.
Correct.
So keep that in mind this week. If you're considering it, prayerful consideration, obviously still open for enrollment. The other thing that we're talking about, August the 14th, is the new baptism. That's a date for YG, and Pastor Allen will probably be talking about that here when YG starts around 10:15. But there is an opportunity for baptism on August the 14th again. If you want to get baptized, obviously we would encourage that. Or if you want to recommit your life to Jesus, that's another opportunity to come in August the 14th.
You're just such a natural at this.
Well, I'm gonna walk off camera. This is just adrenaline. This is all this is. So no, I'm just having a good time sitting next to you.
So info@ygchurch.com.
There we go. That's how you find out, and that's how you get involved with it.
I feel like I had to throw in a little.
Well, yeah, come on. Yeah, don't let me do all the talking. Well, so then finally, last thing before I get to turn it back over to you, is the children's ministry. So obviously we always need volunteers, and with more and more folks coming back, it's very important that we have those volunteers. Now, every once in a while, I've jumped in and I'll do the registration because that's very easy. Mm-hmm. You just punch in a few phone numbers. So that's always something that they need help with. Really a big one is teachers, but even more importantly is the piano. If you have a gift that you can play the piano with both hands, because I've been in classes where it's someone with just one hand playing. Hey, music is music, so we'll take it however we can get. But if you have a talent, we really would need that. We ask for you to consider that, and obviously contact Pastor Allison.
That's right.
All right, so I'll turn it back over to you and take a breath.
All right. So Arlington Life on YouTube. We have tried to upload. Usually it happens on Monday, the Arlington Life from the past Sabbath. And so if you've missed Arlington Life, I know I've talked to a couple people that with the time change that, we don't get to see it as much, and But it's all there. All the interviews are there. It goes back to May. As time allows and my schedule allows, we're going to go further back. And
I was telling Deborah last time when I was here back beginning of July, you can always go back to July of 2015 and find sermons that you've done.
That's true.
I went all the way back and found you from 2015.
Looks a little bit different back there.
No.
Few more hair maybe. But go to YouTube and search for Arlington Adventist. And we're there, but it gets uploaded every Monday. We've got Arlington Life Online, which is our weekly newsletter. Again, if you are not getting that into your inbox, please go to arlingtonadventist.com and subscribe to it. Mindy Colvin does a fantastic job editing that. This week, the Just for Fun is about checking email.
I was going to ask you, did you see that?
I did see that.
5.5 million email accounts, and a person averages 1.75 emails account. How many email accounts do you have?
1, 2, 3,
oh my goodness.
4?
Are you serious?
Yeah. Church, conference, and 2 personal.
Wow.
So 4.
Okay, I'm more towards the average of 2. That's really impressive.
Wow.
And you're able to manage all 4 of those?
Yeah, they all go in. Well, the work stuff goes into my work email account, and then The personal stuff I have to check in.
And any kind of hot opinions that you throw out today, I'll be sure to give your email out, which is tom@arlingtonadventist.com. If you have anything that you want to argue with or counter his points today, that's the way to go.
Speaking of which,
yes, go ahead.
This is totally impromptu. Thursday night, did you catch any football game?
Why did I know you were going to have to mention that?
I just had to bring it up. Well, look, and I turned it off at halftime because preseason football is preseason football.
Right.
I was a little depressed. My quarterback did not look really good, and he could be the future of the franchise after Ben retires. But it was great to see all these Hall of Famers, to see Jimmy Johnson, to see Bill Cowher. So anyway, I'm ready for football season here in a month.
You know what, though? I will say I was very proud of you last week that you did not make any reference to any sports, to any of our two teams that we love so much. You didn't make a reference. That was a personal growth moment that you did. You did not mention that, because last time I put it in
my notes real big. No Cowboys.
I appreciate that. You know, last time I need to do a public apology to you as well, because I actually booed you from the pew.
You started it
the last time.
The problem was you can see the people with peer pressure because a lot of people followed your cue.
Yeah, that wasn't right. So I'm asking for your forgiveness.
Hey, I know I'm loved. That's what it is.
That's right.
And when you're on the side of right, doesn't matter if you
take a stand, right?
That's right, exactly.
Okay, well, I'm glad you take a stand. Okay.
So, one of the things I love about Arlington Life is that, again, this banter, getting to know people. We're going to be changing it up a little bit. We're going to be taking over the segment between YG and Third. And the idea really is to have a seamless transition, really talk about what's going on in YG in this segment toward the end, but also then talk about what's going on in Mosaic. We've got some great plans that are coming. We're going to kick it off on the 21st. We'll have a new bumper. A little bit longer bumper to give us a chance to get a little more set. But again, we just have appreciated all of your support. I'll be putting a survey in the newsletter this week of things you like, things you don't like, things that we can improve. There's always technical glitches. I noticed you can get everything set up during the week, and then Sabbath morning, the gremlins come and things happen. So anyway, but look for that over the next couple of weeks. So we also have on the 20th a men's conference. Right Now Media has done a great job resourcing men's ministry and the ministries across the church with Bible study materials, but they also host events. They're hosting a men's conference on the 20th. We're going to host it here. It's going to be virtual, but Scott Drew, head coach of the Baylor Bears, who just won the national championship here a couple of months ago, Joby Martin, Larry Osborne. I really would love to have a good turnout for that evening. It's from 6:30 to 10. It'll be in the fellowship hall. If nothing else, just some good fellowship time. Obviously, we'll have snacks because we're guys, but some good material too coming from some great speakers. So go to Arlington Life Online to sign up for that. It is $20. That's something that Right Now Media doesn't let me choose. That's just part of the cost of hosting it. But you can get your ticket there, but it'll be on the 20th. An email will go out this week with more details. But
well, I was just going to say, can I plug Right Now Media? Because I was going to say, I really do like what the church has done with that. That's a great resource. And I actually use that for some of my Bible studies at night. Because you can pull up the videos. Great resource if you haven't checked it out. There's just so much there. And I really do appreciate y'all doing that, because there's so much that we can have access to. Because
it's a great, and it's done very, very well. As you'll see, we're going to go ahead and show you a 30-second promo with some of the speakers and some of the things that they're going to be doing.
The greater life God has for his men is not found sitting on the sidelines. Now is the time for the men of God to suit up and serve him like never before. Join thousands of Christian men from around the world at the Right Now Media Men's Conference, a one-day live and simulcast event with Larry Osborne, Drew and Greg, Coach Scott Drew, and Joby Martin. Be challenged to grow in your relationship with God in all areas of life. Visit rightnowmensconference.org today.
Really have appreciated Right Now Media. Again, I've heard a lot of those speakers, and so come out. Again, August 20, look for the sign up and get your ticket in Arlington Life Online. But we've been able to partner with Right Now Media for a number of years now. Another partnership that I know Heidi Jackson, our community service pastor, really appreciates is the Tarrant Area Food Bank. That's where we get our food from for a food pantry. They give us a call here probably 3-4 weeks ago and said, hey, you guys have a big parking lot. You did a great job with the mobile food pantry while we were renovating our stuff. They said, the National Guard wants to distribute some food. And so we thought of you, and so Heidi said, absolutely. And so the National Guard has been here every other Tuesday. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. to do food distribution for the community, in addition to what we're already doing.
Yeah.
And so it's been amazing to see these partnerships with community organizations and be able to meet the needs of the community. So Tarrant Area Food Bank has been amazing to work with. And we've got the National Guard. I think it ends the end of August until they're deployed somewhere else. And so,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
It is.
When I saw that, I thought that was really interesting. And once again, it just speaks to the great things that God's doing and blessing the ministries here. I think that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're mentioning that to
one
our
of the things
folks.
too that we want to keep in mind is that our needs for Revive Food Pantry, rice and diapers.
Always on the
Always
list.
diapers.
Yes.
Always diapers, always rice, those shelf-stable items. So we want to make sure that we can get those. You can drop those off in the foyer. You can drop those off here at the church office. But we just appreciate your generosity in just every time we put a call out, then the needs are met. And I know there are hundreds of families that are appreciative of what you've done for our Revive Food Pantry.
And we have a drop-off day coming up,
We
August
do.
the 10th, this week.
That's right.
So Wednesday, and I believe it's from 10 to 2 for drop-off. And then the following day, August the 11th, I believe, would be the actual day for the food pantry.
Look at you. You've read your notes before this.
Anything you send to me, I try to read. See,
Man,
that's
right.
Anything that you send, I take in.
impressed.
It's very
So
important.
Revive Restored is our food,
Yes.
is our clothing ministry
Clothing.
in addition to our food pantry.
And that also has a drop-off, I believe, from 11 to 2 on Tuesday. Then once again, August the 11th. Now, that's by appointment if there's clients that need to come by and pick that up. But for what needs to be dropped off, I believe, obviously clothes, linens. Now, they do ask for gently used items if you're bringing them by to donate, but they're asking for clothes and linen and those type of things. I'm assuming as we get later into the summer and into the fall, like last year, we're going to probably once again ask for coats.
Yeah.
And those kind of things. So be thinking about that as we move along here through the later part of the summer and into the fall. We're obviously always going to need to be providing donated items so that we can have the ability to give back to the community.
It's been neat to see now that we're back open. Now that Revive will be hosting an open house in September to show off Revive downstairs. I mean, it is.
I haven't seen
It
it
is
yet.
amazing.
Is it really
It is,
looking
yeah,
nice
it is
after all the
looking nice,
remodeling?
yeah.
I can't wait. Yeah.
So I'm blanking out on the date. I want to say it's the second or third weekend of September.
Okay.
After church, we'll have an open house for folk to come down and see Revive. And then you got the Vision Clinic coming up.
That's right. So Vision Clinic's coming up. Now, this one, I believe it's from 5 to 8. And I want to say it's sometime this month. Is it this week? I can't remember.
It is
Yes.
August 25th.
Okay. And there's another 25th as well because it's $25 for an exam and glasses.
Look at that.
So I'm just trying to help out. We're giving nuggets to folks.
That is awesome, man. You,
I'm not used to
You're
you giving
born
me
to do this,
compliments. This,
man.
is
You're
just really
born to
weird that
do
you're
this.
giving me compliments. I'm not used to
Wow.
this. So another great ministry that our church does is this Vision Clinic. I'm really excited. And once again, because of what we've been able to do downstairs and the remodeling that's occurring, we can do so much. And so the Vision Clinic is another component that's being done here for the outreach to the community. So some great stuff.
So again, for all the news for Revive, for the Arlington Church, go to Arlington Life Online. Again, you can access it via your email. Hopefully you're getting it on Thursdays. And then if not, you can go and subscribe to make sure that you get it on Thursdays to one of your 1.5 email accounts. 1.75 email accounts that you have. We're going to take a break. We're going to show you a video, and then we're going to talk a little bit more with my friend Reggie here about his love of meteorology.
Look forward to it.
The way of the world, the familiar, the routine, drifting toward the same ends, heading off in the distance, as if there was no other way. But when you meet Christ, you realize there's a different direction, a guide that invites you on a countercultural pilgrimage. You find a sweet harmony in conversation, in step with him. You realize the blessing that it is to be near to him. He asks you to drop everything, to follow the path toward him. And while the walk is certainly not without its challenges, you are not left unattended. But it's easy to lose focus. It may not be intentional, but if you're not disciplined to move, the gap can widen, and you'll become used to your callousness. He desires to have you close, and you remember how pleasing it is. But the affairs of the world can become rather overwhelming. And there are times when you feel trapped, times when you get preoccupied, distracted, pushed, pulled, bogged down. And you realize the instant that you're not actively moving toward him, you're moving away from him. Remember who called you to this journey and run to him.
All right, so
Yes.
we got a quick interview, so I'm going to hit right to the thing. You are not a meteorologist
I'm not.
by training,
I'm not. But I've taken 2 years at Texas A&M.
because that's what you were planning to do in life, right?
Yes, I wanted to be a TV meteorologist. It obviously did not happen, and then it chose a different career path. But yeah, I took 2 years and then decided to change and went and got a political science degree from Texas A&M, and then from there went on and got a master's degree in city and regional planning.
So what do you do for a living then?
So right now, I'm a city planner. I work for a private consulting firm. Right now, it's a multinational, international company called AECOM. So we have multiple offices around the world. We have 2 offices here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I basically work out of the Dallas office.
Okay. Which is you've worked for them for a number of
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still have this love of meteorology, even though you didn't pursue it as a vocation, you still love meteorology. So I'm kind of curious, and we'll have a weather segment here because you are known. I'm telling you, people have come up to me, when's the weather guy coming back on? And it's like,
I'm sure it may be a handful of people, but I appreciate
more than
you.
2.
Okay, well
More
that's
than
good.
2.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you allow for to humor me to be able to do this, to live the dream through you. So I appreciate it.
Look, the only way I get him to host is I say, hey Reggie, I'll give you a couple minutes for a weather segment. So okay. So how do you keep up? You took your couple of years of meteorology, but that's been a few years.
It has.
How do you keep up with? How do we know you're telling the truth? How do you know not making stuff up?
I'm
man?
a weather junkie still. So like I've taken it to the next level. So I've gone beyond the Weather Channel. I've grown past the Weather Channel. And so it's a guilty pleasure of mine that I have a membership to a weather site that gives me access to all the different models, all the different weather blogs. And so I spend sometimes...
Tanya must really love you.
She does, but I do this when everybody's sleeping. So wee hours of the morning, I'm looking at weather models, I'm reading weather blogs, and that's how I stay up to date on what's going on. So it's a guilty pleasure of mine.
So that would be considered one of your main hobbies
Yeah,
then? Is just,
I would. Yeah, probably.
Is
yeah.
just weather.
And not a normal one, but yeah, that would be it.
So we've talked. One of the things that I have a vision for is having Reggie doing a weekly weather segment, 30, 60 seconds, sharing with our viewers what the weather is going to be like for specifically outdoor church.
Yeah, I think a minor little thing, but it's good to know if you're going to stand outside, if you're going to need to bring an umbrella, if you need to bring a jacket, we're going to have that covered. And I'm even going to tell you the wind speed so you will know if you need to put on extra hairspray.
There you go. Oh, man.
I'm thinking of everybody.
So look for that. We still got a couple of things we got to jump.
We're going to work
get
it
to
out.
That.
That's right.
But that's something that I really would love to have people have access to that great fountain of knowledge of weather.
You're really laying it on thick today.
It's been a while.
I know, it's been a few
while.
weeks. That's right.
So beyond that, you've done children's ministries here. You've done deacon ministries here. We were talking last night, just the vast areas that you have been involved with in this church from little up. I didn't know, I think you may have mentioned it before, that you were involved with media, that you actually taught Sabbath school,
Yes.
adult and children's Sabbath school. So see, if Reggie can teach children's Sabbath school,
Anybody can. That's right. Well, and they give you so many resources. That's the other thing, especially for the little kids. It's really easy. You just walk in. Now, I won't read straight from the script. You got to improvise and make it interesting. But there's so many resources there, and they really make it easy. Pastor Allison does a great job. So I really would encourage folks to give that consideration.
So yeah, children's ministry, adult Sabbath schools, all of those things. Now, a co-host. I mean, you jumped. When I was looking for hosts of Arlington Life, I knew it was an interest of yours, and I hardly even had to say, Reggie, would you? And you're like, yes.
Yeah, I love finding areas to contribute and get involved in this. Now, this is a minor thing here, but it's your baby, and I love to support you on it. So it's been a lot of fun.
And you do such a great job with it. So I'm seeing our time. I want to make sure that you have enough time for the weather maps that we have uploaded.
Okay.
So I will give it to you. And
Oh,
then
wow.
you'll be signing off. So I will sit here and bask in the weather knowledge that you.
All right, we'll try to be very quick about it. All right, well, let's pull up that first map, and we're going to pull up, this is going to be the first map that's the map of the United States, and it's going to show you the last 45 days, and everyone's been talking, this has not been a normal summer. Well, you're right, it's actually been below average, and you can see that here in Texas. Just to the south of us, it's that green dot. What it's indicating, from anywhere from North Texas south, we've been looking at from -5 to -7 degrees below normal. That's how cool it's been. All right, well, let's go to the next couple maps. The next map, I want to talk briefly about the hurricane season. It's going to really be picking up in full steam here. It starts June the 1st. It really hits its stride here in August and September. This first map is from the Japanese model, and what it's indicating here, this is from July, everything's shut off. Basically, after July 6th, we stopped having any tropical storms here in the Atlantic Basin, and that's because of this map right here. You'll notice that that blue area indicates rise, so in the Pacific, there is much more conducive for tropical development, not so much in the Atlantic. If we go to the third map, you'll look at that, and you're going to see it's actually, the yellow is sinking air in the Pacific, so that's going to be shut down. But now in the Atlantic Basin, you have that blue, which indicates rising air, very conducive for tropical storm development. We're going to start seeing that now as we get into August and September, a much more active season that's going to start picking up.
So the question is, are we going to run out of names like we did last year?
No. We're not going to do that because last year we had 30 names and we had to get into the Greek alphabet. So with that, great cue. Let's go to the next map. And you're going to
practice it.
Yeah, I know. This is just so improv here. This is a great map that shows all the impacts to the Atlantic seaboard and the Gulf Coast. For Texas, we were paying close attention to Beta, Hanna, Laura, and Delta. Now, what's interesting about this, you're going to notice that Dallas really missed most of the impacts from those storms. The yellow indicates all the way up into Arkansas that they had tropical storm warnings, and that was actually from Laura. Now, typically, we don't ever see really hurricane warnings here in Dallas, but we will see actual tropical storms, tropical storm warning, because we're so far north. But really, you can get the feel of how active it was last summer. Let's go to the last map here, and it's actually a picture, and I love this map because this is of the globe. And you can see that great state of Texas there. I almost want to just bust out and start singing Texas, Our Texas.
Oh my
Because it's the
goodness.
sunrise over the Sabine coming towards the Golden Triangle of Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. Great picture there of Sally, Paulette, Renee, Teddy, and Vicky. 5 storms at the same time. This was on September the 14th, back in September. So you can see a very active weather pattern. We're not going to see that this year, but take-home message is this, because it's at 10:13. The storms are picking up, so the latter part of this month into September, we're going to see a lot more activity in the Atlantic Basin and the Gulf, so be prepared and be watching. We could even get some tropical weather up here in North Texas. With that, I appreciate, Tom, you allowing me just a few minutes to rattle off and look at weather maps. It's a lot of fun. Always a good time spending time with you. But now, folks, you can get ready for YG, and at 11:30, we got Mosaic. Wish you the best here, and continue to enjoy your Sabbath, and have a great week.